Welcome to the Explainer. You know, if you've ever felt like you're just at war with your own body, trying every diet imaginable, only to have that stubborn belly fat just cling on for dear life, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you the problem isn't your willpower at all? Today we're going to dive into the biology behind belly fat and explore a strategy that actually works with your body, not against it.
Okay, so right off the bat, let's get one thing crystal clear. This whole struggle with belly fat, it's not a moral failing. It has nothing to do with being lazy or weak. It's actually a deeply ingrained survival mechanism. Just like it says here, your body genuinely thinks it's doing you a huge favor.
So, to really wrap our heads around the solution, we have to completely reframe the problem. We need to stop looking at belly fat as just simple storage and start seeing it for what it truly is, a heavily defended bunker.
That's right, a biological bunker. I mean, think about it from an evolutionary point of view. Your body is hardwired for survival. It sees that fat around your middle as a critical energy reserve for tough times ahead. And believe me, it will protect that reserve fiercely, especially when it thinks you're under stress.
And this whole bunker idea, it's the exact reason why so many of the common strategies just fall flat. You can do 1,000 crunches, but all that does is build muscle underneath the fat. You can run for miles and miles, but if your hormones are screaming hold on to fat, that vault is going to stay locked. It's why that old eat less, move more mantra so often fails. It completely ignores the real gatekeepers of your fat stores.
So, who are these gatekeepers anyway? All right, let's pull back the curtain and meet the two hormonal bodyguards that are controlling all access to your fat bunker. Understanding how these two work, well, it's the key to everything.
Okay, say hello to cortisol and insulin. Think of cortisol as the stress guard. When you're all stressed out, your cortisol levels shoot up, and it basically puts a big do not touch sign on your belly fat. Then you've got insulin, the storage guard. Whenever insulin is high, which is usually right after you eat, fat burning is completely locked out. If these two are on high alert, your fat vault is staying sealed shut, and it doesn't matter how much you're exercising.
And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the matter. Your body isn't a calculator. It's a really complex chemical system that responds to hormonal signals. The real key is to work with that system, not try to fight against it.
So the big question is, how do we get past these hormonal bodyguards? How do we convince them to just open the vault? Well, the solution is all about flipping a really powerful metabolic switch. And the key to that switch? It's fasting. So how does fasting actually work? Well, it all comes down to insulin. See, when you're eating or snacking all day long, your insulin levels are constantly up. And as long as insulin is high, your body's in fat storage mode. Period. The vault is locked.
But when you fast, something really powerful happens. Your insulin levels drop. They just plummet. And that is the signal your body has been waiting for. It's the green light that tells those hormonal bodyguards to stand down, which finally lets your body access and burn that stored fat for energy.
And here's something that's absolutely crucial. We're not just talking about any old fat. We're talking about visceral fat. That's the really dangerous kind that's packed around your vital organs, and it's linked to all sorts of serious health issues. Your body knows this is a problem, so when you flip that fat-burning switch, it's smart enough to prioritize getting rid of this dangerous visceral fat first. But, you know, there's always a catch. Fasting isn't a magic bullet. To really make it work, you have to do it the right way. A few common mistakes can keep that bunker locked up tight. So let's break down the 3 golden rules for doing this effectively. These are your 3 pillars. Keep that eating window tight, do not cheat on your fast, and get a handle on your sleep and stress. Nailing these 3 is the difference between just spinning your wheels and finally unlocking that stubborn fat. All right, rule number 1 is all about timing. Your body doesn't even start seriously tapping into its fat stores until you've been fasting for at least 12 to 14 hours. That's why keeping a tight eating window, say 8 hours or less, is so important. I love this analogy. Snacking all day is like trying to watch a movie but hitting the restart button every 5 minutes. You never ever get to the good part. Rule number 2 is pretty simple. Don't cheat on your fast. A clean fast means only having things that won't trigger an insulin response. So black coffee, plain tea, water, you're good to go. But even a tiny splash of milk in your coffee or a scoop of those BCAAs can be just enough to spike your insulin and slam the brakes on fat burning. A clean fast really does equal clean results. And rule number 3, this is the one that gets overlooked all the time, but it's just as important. Remember cortisol, the stress guard? If you're constantly stressed out or you're not getting enough sleep, your cortisol levels are going to be through the roof. telling your body to store more and more belly fat. This can completely sabotage your efforts, even if your fasting is perfect. So prioritizing sleep and finding ways to manage stress, they are absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, so let's zoom out and bring this all together. What is the big, overarching takeaway from this entire approach? Well, it's about a complete and total shift in your mindset.
This right here, this is the core message. For way too long, weight loss has been framed as this brutal war against our own bodies. But this approach is about making peace. It's about actually listening to your body's signals and working with your biology, not constantly fighting against it.
This is all about creating a sustainable lifestyle, not some miserable temporary fix. We're not talking about starvation. We're not talking about living at the gym. It's just a simple, more elegant system that works in harmony with your body's natural rhythms.
So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. Understanding these hormonal principles gives you a completely new lens to see fat loss through. It's a method that's based on biology, not just sheer willpower. So the question really is, are you ready to finally stop fighting and start working with your body?